Hey, welcome to the channel. It's still Wednesday. I just finished the carriage ride in the old city, but I thought I'd come up to the other old city and do a little bit of a walk around. I kind of had a little story I wanted to tell y'all, and really had no plan on where to walk, so I'm just going to start here and see where I end up. A lot of traffic out today. Coming through the front side of the moat up by Taipei Gate, there's a lot of traffic. But anyway, we're just going to get walking and see where we end up. No big deal. It's a nice day out. The air's pretty clear. It's starting to get hot, but you know, that's one of the things that you know, you live here, you kind of get used to it. But today I wanted to talk about something happened this week. It was not really strange. I mean, it's probably going to sound strange to y'all, but for us, we hear about these things quite a bit. And you know, the question is, do you really know how many husbands your wife has up here, or how many she's had, or how many kids she's had? Wow, them squirrels are having a ball. You know, but anyway, to get to the story, this foreigner is married to this girl, Thai girl, and like a lot of foreigners that come here, wow, look at that bug. That's pretty cool. There's another one over there. Let me walk down here. I've never walked down here. See what's here. But like a lot of foreigners that come here, they're not old enough to retire. They don't have a lot of money unless they're working. Oh, this is a little sweet shop. Okay. So what they do is they come over here, they fall in love, they get married, they set their wife up in a house here, or apartment, or whatever, or provide some kind of financial support, and then they go back to their home country, and they may come 1, 2, 3 times a year, you know, visit, you know, with the plan of when they get to a financial point where they can, they're going to retire and come here and live here. Well, this particular guy, it did not say what nationality he was. I saw kind of a picture of him, and he looked like, you know, he could have been American, could have been anything. But anyway, his wife is like 37 years old. She's got a kid that's 20, and she's living with her mother. And anyway, he comes over for his yearly visit. Well, the wife gets a phone call from a guy who apparently, according to the story, she had a relationship with him 2 years ago. Now, if you've had a relationship that's ended over 2 years ago, you know, I'll wait till this motorcycle gets by. The chances of rekindling that relationship later on, well, you know, they're pretty slim. But anyway, the guy that she had a relationship with 2 years ago calls and wants to get back with her. And she basically says, according to the article, says, you know, I'm not getting back with you. You know, you never change your ways and all this stuff. And according to the article, he responds, well, you're shacked up with somebody. I'm just going to kill all of you. And hung up the phone. Well, she kind of took it with a grain of salt, and I'll wait till I get by this bus. What do you got? She kind of takes it with a grain of salt, hangs up, and goes back in the house where her foreign husband is, and apparently her son, 20-year-old son, and mother are in the house as well. About an hour later, they hear a car pull up, and Yeah, we'll try this little alley here. Guy gets out with a shotgun and just opens up, and the husband and the wife run out the back door. They just take off running, and the guy runs in the house. The son comes out of the bedroom. Wow, this is neat. The son comes out of the bedroom, and the guy just plops him, kills him dead, and he takes back off in the truck and takes off. Well, apparently he worked for the government and was some type of a national parks ranger or something like that. Well, after he talked to the girl, he went back to the ranger office and stole the truck and the shotgun. And I don't know if they've caught him yet. But, you know, just reading it, it was just kind of a bizarre story. Hello. Hello. You know, I ventured to say, well, this guy's back in his country working his ass off so he can send money to his girlfriend back in Thailand. She's probably having a relationship with this guy. And when she knows he's coming back into town, she breaks it off with him, and it pissed him off. I don't know what's back in here. Huh. But I'm just telling you, that's not uncommon here. It's not uncommon for these girls, and I'm not talking about bar girls either. I'm talking about girls that work in department stores, or you know, just your everyday normal girl. It's not uncommon for them to have a husband and hook up with a foreigner that's going to support them when they go back to their country. When we got married, my wife was working at a department store in Bangkok, and naturally she had a lot of friends that were all female. And this one particular girl was married, and she had a husband and a little girl, and excuse me, we'd go out to dinner with them when we came over. And Lek was telling me she's got a Japanese husband, and the Japanese husband comes over 2 weeks out of the year, sends her money all the time, comes over 2 weeks out of the year, and she ditches her husband for 2 weeks and goes and spends the time with him. And that's not the first one I've heard of. There's quite a few more that I've heard of over the years. Hello. So really, do you actually know if your so-called wife is single or not? And my wife was telling me she, you know, knows of girls that have got into that situation, and when the foreign husband comes back, you know, for his 2 weeks or his week or whatever, the actual husband turns into a brother. And I've read about it, but I never knew of that actually being the case firsthand. But my wife tells me, yeah, it's, you know, quite prevalent here. It happens more times than you think. And so, you know, when you come here and you meet somebody, keep your mind open. You know, there's always little telltale signs. You know, the phone ringing, text messages all the time. You know, just different things you can watch out for to prevent that from happening. And you know, if you're here for a long time, you know, like 3 or 4 months, you know, you've probably got a better chance of that not happening. But another case, for instance, that I know of for sure, this guy had lived here for quite a while, and he meets this girl in Krabi, and she's, let's put it this way, he's probably in his 70s, and she was in her roaring 35, 36 years old or something like that. Well, he hooks up with her and he gets married, and they move to Chiang Mai, and she's got one kid, and the kid moves up with him, and they're living together probably over a year, And he takes to this kid pretty well. And then the kid starts talking about her brother. And he had no idea that his wife had 2 kids, not just 1. But anyway, and eventually the other kid came, and it just turned into a big fiasco, and she ended up leaving him. Actually left him with the kid that wasn't even his. And she went back to Krabi, and you know, he just kind of moved on with his life. But he had no idea, and he didn't know if she was still married. At the present time, he doesn't even know how he's going to divorce her, because she's not even living here, and they're legally married. So who knows? And now I say legally married. Here you go in front of a monk, and you know, they say a bunch of stuff, and technically you're married, but you know, to actually get it registered, you have to go to the amphitheater, register the marriage, and then it's officially legal. The other kind of marriage, you know, you just walk away. When you get tired of it, you just walk away. That's why so many Thai men have so many different wives. They're not actually legal wives. They're the wives that they've either performed a ceremony with, or they're supporting, or you know, who knows. It's not uncommon for a Thai man to have more than 1 wife, and sometimes they'll all live in the same house together. I know of one situation for sure that the husband has a wife, and he has a second wife, and he also has a daughter. And the daughter has a husband and a child, and they all live in the same room together. It's kind of a bizarre situation, and I don't know how they manage, but they do, and oh well, more power to them. But really, you need to really watch your step here, and especially the guys, you know, you guys that are on the internet. I can just tell you for sure, with all these new apps out, that the person you're looking at on the computer may not be the same person you meet in person. I mean, they may just be totally different. I've seen apps, and my wife has one too, and she posts pictures of me using the app, and I said, don't do that. It doesn't make me look like me. But it'll take 30 pounds off of them in about 20 years when they use that app. So you never really know what you're in store for. Wow, this is a cool house. So beware. It happens. I would just about freak out if I married some girl and then found out she'd been either still married or you know, had been married 3 or 4 times and had 4 or 5 kids. But it happens. And a lot of these girls, and I'm not talking just about bar girls, I'm talking about your everyday girls that you know, just get out walking around. They might have 3 or 4 boyfriends in another country sending them money. It's not uncommon. And I guess there are guys foolish enough to do it. And one particular girl that I know her through a friend. Excuse me. Wow, that goes back somewhere to a house back there. She has a house. She doesn't work. She's got a kid, and apparently she's got this kid with a Japanese guy, and he sends her money every month. She's drying her hair, and he comes over 2 weeks out of the year. Now the other 50 weeks, she's pretty much doing whatever she wants. Swaddy Cap. So you just never know. There's a gas pump. I don't know if I've walked this. I don't know if I've walked this road before. I probably have. But so you never really know. You know, you're just taking a big chance, and you get into a relationship like that, and it's really, really hard to get out. These girls are not going to let you go as easy as you think. I've heard stories of guys packing up in the middle of the night and grabbing their shit and get gone, and hoping that the girl doesn't follow them. I had one guy, and I know this guy really well, and he meets this girl, and he hooks up with her. She comes over his house, and I guess she spends the night, and the next morning, he's got things to do, and it's time for her to go. Well, she doesn't really want to go, and this looks like it's some kind of school. I'm sure it is. But anyway, he ends up getting her out the door, and what he does is so funny. He runs back in the house and locks the door and locks her out. Well, she didn't take too kindly to this, and she's sending him all kinds of threatening messages, and saying, you promised me this, you promised me that. Well, he says he didn't promise anything, but that's neither here nor there. But she turned out to be a real stalker. He came home one night. This was probably about 2 or 3 days later. And she's hiding in the bushes when he gets into his. Well, no, I'm sorry. Let me get back. He has a housemaid that comes and cleans his house on a certain day. And he was out that day, and the house cleaner was at the house. And the girl comes to the house, and she lets this girl in. Let's go down this way. Huh. She lets the girl in. He walks in the house, and she's sitting on his couch drinking a beer out of his refrigerator. And that's when he did the door thing. Anyway, he gets her out the door, and he runs back in and shuts the door and locks her out. She's out there screaming and yelling at him and cussing him and saying all kinds of stuff. Wow, this is neat, really neat. I don't think I've walked through here. But anyway, he gets her out of the house, and she's just standing out in the. I wonder if we'll walk down here. Let's walk this way. This looks kind of. Let's go this way. I can always swing back around. But he gets her out of the house, and I guess after a while she leaves. This girl has a car, so he knows what kind of car she drives and kind of keep an eye out for it. Well, he comes in one night to his house, and he lives in a gated community with a guard shack that anybody can get in. If guards just you just drive past them, they don't stop you. And she's hiding in the bushes on him, and he freaks out. He runs, and she's chasing him down the street, from what I understand. And he's got his phone with him, so he calls his friend. That's cute. Yeah, I've not walked by this before. He calls his friend that lives by, and his friend comes by and picks him up. And apparently he's hiding, and they end up going to the police station and filing a report. And I think that was the end of it. I've not heard any more situations where he's had any problems. But when you hook up with somebody here, it's taken seriously. And if you say something that you're going to do something, or something's going to be a certain way, and it turns out it's either mistaken or you talk the line of bullshit, you might end up paying for it in the end. And I mean, he's a nice guy, and he just, I don't know exactly what he got into. Now, what is that? That looks like a USB cord that's been thrown away. Oh, no, I don't think I've walked through here. But you got to be careful, no doubt. And I mean, it's nothing for one of these girls to pay somebody 500 baht to, you know, whomp you on the head or even worse. So mind your manners when you're here and keep your head on your shoulders. Don't get involved in something that it's going to get you in trouble. And I have heard stories now, and I've read these on the internet, of guys that have gone into bars down in Pattaya, you know, and all the bars are on the same street. Well, they leave with one girl one night, and then they come back the next night, and the girl sees him with somebody else and pitches a fit on him. So, you know, kind of be aware of that. Get your head caved in for no reason. Wow, this is neat. I don't think I've been down this road. How would I ever miss it? Yeah, there's apartments back there, houses. Huh. Yeah, I don't think I've been here. See where it takes me out. Now somewhere here, and it may be right here, I don't know, there's a plot of land that you can see with Google Maps that's undeveloped. And it's a big plot of land. And from my understanding, what I was told was that a family owns it, and they're just not doing anything with it. They're not developing it. Not going to make anything with it. I guess they're just sitting around waiting for the perfect offer. But it may be back in here. I'm not sure. I'd have to look. I think it may be a little bit further south of where I'm at. But think about that, you know, when you're out here messing around, or you're out here playing the field. Don't get yourself involved in something that you might regret. Because life is cheap here. I'm telling you, it's, you know, it's a possibility you could get yourself hurt. Now, I'm not exactly sure where we're at, but I think we will take a right here. Oh, okay, I know where we're at. Yeah, we'll take a right here, and we'll come right back out on the road to the moat. And I'm at about 23 minutes, and I'm probably losing your interest by now. There's a little hazardous waste disposal box. Yeah, we'll walk down this way. But there's a lot of things in Thailand that can hurt you. And if you're not, you know, if you walk around with blinders on, it's very possible you can get yourself into a jam. Now somewhere here, I've got a picture of 3 rats playing around, and I think it was right here. Yeah, it was right here. There was a little old lady sitting right there doing something. There are 3 rats out here just having a ball. Making coffee, iced tea. Swadee Kap. But use your head. Don't do anything stupid. And, you know, don't think that your actions and your words won't come back to haunt you, because they will. And you can get strung up here pretty fast. And a lot of these guys come here, they don't care. You know, they just do whatever the hell they want to, and suffer the consequences. You know, maybe they move to a different city or different location every month or two. But me, you know, you got to have some kind of stability somewhere. I'll put this in here. I know I've photographed this before. This is a really neat place. All kinds of stuff here. You can get your noodle place right on the corner. We are just up from Suandok Gate. But anyway, I'm going to end this video here and walk back to the car, get in the air conditioning, because as you can see, I'm starting to sweat. And I hope you enjoyed this little talk. And like I said, listen to what I said, because I'm not just not talking here, that I'm talking truth. You can really get jammed up here if you don't think with your head, and you act stupid, and you just don't let it happen to you. But anyway, y'all have a good day. I'm out of here. See you later. Bye.